Alpha. Really short video here. I want to talk about this setting. It's a performance optimization that will speed up how quickly files are served by our hosting platform. I've just got an example here of a website, Didgeridoo Dojo. Now, on our hosting platform, we use a combination of Nginx web server with Apache. This gives us a good balance of performance and compatibility. So, compatibility and reliability to keep things stable. It reduces support overhead, makes things work, makes the site work with weird and obscure plugins and all sorts of stuff like that. But there are some performance optimizations we can do to squeeze more juice out of it that aren't turned on by default. So I'm just in the hosting admin console here. So I'm just going to go into this setting, hosting DNS tab, and then Apache and Nginx. So what happens by default, Nginx is the web server that sits in front of everything, and when customers request something, it hits the Nginx server first. It passes the request over to the Apache server, and then Apache responds to Nginx, and the Nginx will cache the result if it's something like an image file, CSS, or JavaScript file. So that's great. So we get a balance of performance and reliability there. There is an additional optimization where Nginx can serve up those static files directly. So instead of talking to the Apache web server and doing this kind of back and forth work, Nginx can just go to the hard disk on the server and get the file and serve it to the visitor. And that works well for things like JPEG files, PNGs, images, video, CSS, JavaScript. That works really well in 99% of cases. There are some edge cases here where you don't want to use this if you have a membership site, for example, or you have a WooCommerce site and you're protecting downloads, or some sort of processing has to happen before you serve the file to the visitor. This is probably something you don't want to use, but if you don't have any of that, if you just have just a regular static website with content, so many pages or whatever, and you're just serving up a site, nobody's logging into it, nobody's buying anything off it, then this should work fine. So the optimization is here. So I'm in this settings here, and there's this checkbox, serve static files directly by Nginx. So what that does, the Nginx web server will just go seek those files directly from the disk, and it won't talk to Apache at all. So that'll speed things up, especially if you have high load on the site, you have a lot of visitors coming at once, or you have kind of infrequent workloads, or you have a lot of image files. So it'll speed things up, and it will just make the website load feel more snappy. And the site will be able to handle more traffic because the web server is doing less work. So just hit that and then just hit the OK button, and that's it. You'll see there that it lists the file names that it's serving dynamically. If you, like I said, if you have something like a WooCommerce site that is protecting downloads, you might want to exclude some of these files. So this site is actually protecting some zip files, so I'm going to get rid of zip there. This is a membership site, so logged in users are allowed to download the zip files once they're logged in. So we don't want Nginx to handle that in this case, because that'll make those zip files available to everybody, and that will basically bypass the PHP processing that checks to see if they're a member first. So I've just removed that and just hit OK again, and that's it. We're all sorted. So very straightforward optimization. Shouldn't have any issues with it, but again, just be careful if you have a membership site, a WooCommerce site, or a site that people are logging into and is a bit more dynamic. In any case, if you have any questions about this before you turn it on, just hit our support team, reach out to our support team, log a support ticket, and we'll come back to you. Cheers.